I will analyze why I will make this Cornhole script. So there is nothing like this in FiveM servers. This is something I think that can be easily added to any kind of roleplay server. I also thought about the possibility that they can put a business around this script. So they have this incentive to buy the script and put it in the server because they will have a unique business in the server. It's easy to understand, it's easy to play, and it's a bit out of the box to create. So it's not that easy that a scripter could create something like this. So I did a bit of market study. It does not exist in the ecosystem. And FiveMetrics or in the FiveM forum, you don't find anything like this. It's very famous in USA, not that famous in other countries, but USA represents also the biggest community in the FiveM ecosystem. So I'm putting this Cornhole against another games that already exist in FiveM, like table tennis, beer pong, hockey, air wrestling, and you can see that Cornhole is more popular than the other games. So how many servers will have this? Because if we check the aircore data in FiveMetrics, we can expect up to 500 servers interested in it to plug it in his own servers. But aircore is also a recognized brand here. About the pricing, in aircore, we can see that they have table tennis, hockey, beer pong for 30 euros plus taxes. In dollars, it's $35 plus taxes. So in my case, could be maybe a little lower, like 25, because I don't have that brand value that obviously the server owners, when buy the script, they will have in their mind. I can put like an aggressive discount first week, 50% or something. Maybe I could put like $30 the full price, but 15 if you buy the first week. I think that I could put a private message to a lot of USA servers that also has this kind of mini game. I'm building this in public. It's something that I didn't see in any script. Upload this to FiveM forum and FiveM Discord. So what are the revenue projections for first month for a script like this? In the best scenario, I don't think it's possible because 500 is like the amount of servers that aircore has, and aircore is aircore, not me. In this scenario, it will make $14,000. In a really bad scenario, like 10, I think. Probably we need to point to 100 servers. This is like taking into account at least $25 first week, probably less. So this is also for the first month. I don't know what to expect in the following months. If you do something good for these servers, you impact them in a positive way. These servers will take you into account if you launch another script. This is also not taking into account the TVX cut and the taxes. The net profit will be a lot less. What this script will have. So the Cornhole table will be like an item that you can place in the ground and be able to create a game and invite people to play. It needs some kind of UI also for creating the game and to showing the status, how many points you have, how many points does the other team has. You need a system for throwing the bags. This is the most important thing in this script. You need to make it smooth. We need to put like some store so the players can go and buy it from there. And the business option needs a job log, so only the members of that job can set up the tables. You can put a price per game, $200. So players need to pay that to be able to play, and money goes to the business account. More features that we could add, but I'm focusing in the MVP. That's the important part. Then if the script succeeds, we can put a lot of effort and love to make it even better. So be able to place a bet in the game, like for the business, to be able to see the gaming history, the revenue, the tables like stay in after restart for business. They don't need to put in the tables every time the server starts. Also, we could put tournaments, league, or something that brings a more competitive aspect in this kind of game. We need assets, the Cornhole table 3D model, the Cornhole bags 3D model, the items. We need to build some bridges for the most popular frameworks, ESX and QB build some documentation, and provide support from Discord server. For estimate the cost of this script, I will take into account my own hours. I'm currently charging $50 per hour for my developing expertise. So I divided everything in categories to be able to try to estimate how many hours I expect to invest in every feature. It will be like between 11 to 22 hours, which will represent a cost of $525 to $1,150. Another thing to mention, this is only the setup cost. It doesn't take into account the marketing related costs and the Discord support. You need to provide support if a person has a doubt or something, but I won't calculate it now. Having these prices like 15, considering something average, and this after the TEDx cut, we will need to sell from 35 to 77 copies of this script. A good number to have in mind is 100. This is it for the market study. Next part will be designing and building this. The whole game starts with one simple idea: throwing something. If throwing doesn't feel good, the game won't be fun. So I began by making the arm move naturally when you aim. I used a silly base animation like drinking coffee, but then I made the arm point exactly where I wanted. From there, when you drag your mouse and let go, the game takes that movement and turns it into a throw. Of course, nothing works perfectly the first time. The hardest part at the beginning was simply letting go the dodge in the right spot. It sounds silly, but it kept flying out of the wrong place. After a lot of trial and error, I finally got it to release correctly. Now, imagine you are trying to throw a bug into a tiny hole. If it's too strict, no one will enjoy it, so I added a bit of help behind the scenes. Basically, the game adjusts your throw just a little bit to make it feel fair. You can even choose between easy, medium, and hard modes, where easy gives you a lot of help and hard is almost fully manual. In this way, anyone can play and still feel good about landing a shot. Then I spent way too much time fighting with the objects themselves, because sometimes they went through the floor, sometimes they didn't collide properly. This is because you need to choose the correct flags, so the game engine will understand what do you want to do with that object. I also made the hole in the table slightly bigger than it looks and the bags slightly smaller. That way, if it looks like the bag should go in, it actually does. And again, this is all about the fun. Next, I worked on placing the table in the world. You use the item, look at the ground wherever you want, and you drop it. The game will check if the spot is correct or not, and it will allow you. After that, I built a game system, creating matches, joining, keeping the score, and tracking rounds. Once the core was working, I added the scoreboard and menus. I made screens to show which teams are playing, how many points they have, how much time is left, and little reminders if you leave the play area. It's not about looks. These details make the game much clearer. After that, I wanted the game to look nicer too, not just work. So I added a special animation for the throw to make it cleaner and more satisfying to watch. It's a small detail, but it really improves the game feel. Finally, I tested it with a friend, and guess what? The bugs started acting crazy. The throws were inconsistent and it felt random. That was a big problem. I spent hours experimenting until I found a solution. Each player now controls the throws on their own computer, client side, and the game just shares the final positions and rotations with everyone else. That way, the throws feels stable and fair for everyone watching. Once the physics were fixed, record some gameplay clips, made a thumbnail, and set up my store to release it. It was my first time preparing a project for sale, so that took some extra time. All in all, I spent about 55 hours on this project, and that's a lot of work, around $2,500 worth of time. To make that back, I'll need about 100 sales, but honestly, that's part of the risk. You never know until you try. And that's the whole story, from a simple idea about throwing to a complete game you can actually play. It was a mix of fun, personal learning. Thanks for sticking around and listening to the process. If you enjoyed this kind of breakdown, let me know. I'd love to share more behind the scenes stories in the future.
Listen up, maggots! This ain't a picnic! It's cornhole warfare! Step 1, use your cornhole item. Bam! Step 2, march over and use your third eye. Create the match. Set your rules. Choose your difficulty. Then join the team you want, soldier! When it's your turn, click, drag up, release. Straight to the hole! In the hole equals 3 points. On the board equals 1 point. At round's end, the difference goes to the winners. And yes, soldier, it's all synced. And if you're smart, you'll buy this script, run events for your community, or even create a cornhole job. Make money, grow your server, and stop being just another mediocre owner. Now move it!